Hello and welcome to O-Stitch Up-Ons. My name is Levi. I can be found on Instagram as WTF Knitting without the singing. Hello, welcome to any new viewers. Welcome back to any returning viewers. I live in Central Ohio with my partner and our two dogs, Winston Charles, which is right at the door. Winston, Winnie, hello, hi, come here. He says no. And then Finland Grace. And I'm a registered nurse that works in fraud, waste, and abuse. How's everyone doing today? I'm really excited to be back. We just got back from Petty and London. Well, London and then Petty. It was a lot of fun. We'll talk about it in the video. Let's get started talking about cross stitching. I have maybe 2 or 3 starts. I can't remember. Ridiculous. I have a finish. I actually have 2 finishes. I finished one last night at I finished one last night. Oh my gosh. Do you know the coffee in London and Paris tasted like an ashtray? It had felt like zero caffeine in it. Anyways, hello and welcome. How's everyone doing? It's been 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe at this point. I'm going to my nephew's game here in a little bit, and it's like really cold here in Ohio. I'm not sure what's going on. It says it's 59 degrees. That cannot be the truth. In August? Oh, it says it needs to update. It says it hasn't updated since 9:01 this morning. Anyways, okay, let's get started with our project. So I do, I don't know. Let's get back to Project Keeper, Pattern Keeper, so I can show you things. Let's start off with our whips, starts. I have a pile here and we're just gonna pull it and then we'll go from there. So the first one I did was from Velvet to Linen by Kathy Barrick, and I did 513 stitches. Wow, I didn't realize I did that many. I am doing this on an 18. Oh, here there, come here. Oh, you want to come see? You want people to see you? Oh, come here. Oh, come here. They're like, no, we don't want to come. Anyways, I did this on a 18 count, dyed by my friend Pam. This is like the softest Aida ever. I don't know where she got it. And she said she just got people sent her things and she just started dyeing it because she's going to dye fabric. And instead she might still dye fabric, but she's dyeing more floss currently. And it's an 18 count and it's the softest Aida I've ever stitched on. So I've got the butterfly. I was going to say done, but that's a lie. I still have that much left. But anyways, so I'm starting with the butterfly, working my way down. I'm doing it in the DMCs. I'm not doing it in the MPI. I really love that pattern. I really love Kathy. Like, I really should get that spot cleaned up. But I don't think I have any more paint because there's other places that I need to touch up that weren't like this because of my chair. And they're not touched up either. So I think I need to buy more paint. But like, have you ever bought paint and not bought a whole gallon of it? It's a different color. We did that in our one house that we bought because they painted it in with 5-gallon buckets. And we used a 1-gallon touch up, and it wasn't the same paint actually at all. It was like a completely different color. So I'm doing that 1/1 Aida square on 18 count, dyed by my friend Otter Creek. This here is 2 old lady bags on Etsy. This is my Untamed bag from her. It's actually Pam's sister, Lisa, and her mom, Pat, that do them. They're on Etsy. Actually, right here is their Etsy card. That's their Etsy link there. They should do, like, have a QR code so you just can turn it over and you can scan it right off your thing. But anyways, Comes in a white on white internal. This is the bag I took to London. It's my London project, which is such a joke, but I made this. This is a UK designer. It was okay. I ran out of this black, so like I didn't do the bias binding, so my binding isn't stretchy, so it kind of turns in the edges a little. It's whatever. But I bobbinated, realized that I hate bobbinating. I hate bobbinating. I am not a bobbinator at all. So I think that's the reason why I didn't get very far in this project, because it was just so hard to pick up because you had to unbobinate it. It was kinky, and I'm not a kink kind of fella. I'm vanilla, baby. I don't like the kinks. I don't have it with me, but Patty from Stitching with My Kittens, or Kitties, Stitching with My Kitties, gave us, I seen her at StitchCon, and she gave us a little tiny, like, looks like maybe like Vaseline was in it. I mean, I'm sure there's nothing in it, but like it looks like a little tiny like Vaseline, or maybe like a face creamy. I don't know. It's tiny. It's about this big and about that thing. And she put a sponge in it, and you dampen the sponge, and then you run your floss over it. Well, I brought it, but I couldn't find it. I'm batting zero. But I did bring extra needles. And my friend Sue from StitchCon gave us all little tiny scissors. And I was going to say, I lost them because we went from Columbus to Dulles, which is right outside of Washington, D.C., which was a nightmare. We waited on the runway for almost an hour and a half. And then London, flew from Dulles to London. And by the time we arrived at London, I could not find those scissors anywhere. They were in the bag. I'm a hot mess. But this is all I got done. I'm doing this on... I need to stop laughing. Oh my gosh, this is such a start. But anyway. Okay. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'll show you. I don't know. So oh my gosh, you do not want to see this messy ass room. And why do I have 2 needles stuck on these magnets? Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. Mock-up. So I recharted these to show them together. So this is the London side. This is the Paris side. It's a pillow, and there's a New York one, but we didn't end up going through New York. So I just took out New York and put London and Paris together. And I just connected them by the tree. So I took out a few stitches in the tree and just scooted them together. And I think there's like 4 stitches in between them, like between these 2 top buildings. So that's what it'll look like in the end. Apparently I'm nowhere near that, because every time I wanted to stitch in New York, I wanted to stitch on Sarah Barker. But I'm doing an 18 count 1/1 DMC thread. DMC called for. So I stitched this in London and on the way to London. So Big Ben, or it's actually called the Queen Elizabeth Tower. Big Ben is the bell. And then this is what people consider the London Bridge, but that's not actually the London Bridge. And this here is, that church. Notre Dame. Oh my gosh. But I just love these colors. I'm doing it 1 DMC over 1 Ada square because it's 18 count. It's that printed from Swag Art. And that was fun. So shockingly, I did do 230 stitches. Doesn't look like it. I am too sassy for my own good today. All right, Mama ain't into that yet. So here it is, Ann Thomas. I'm doing this on all the called for DMC. I'm doing it 1/2 Lugana threads on a 32 count, dyed by me. It started off with apricot, base color, apricot by Swag Art, and then I dyed it with the red and the chocolate brown with red. And this is what it came out as. So this one I have done 313. So I just worked here in the bird to get it well established. And then honestly, on the day I did like 203 stitches, I realized that this was like this color here, and then that was all in the wrong spot, and I had to rip it all out and put it back in. So it was 106 stitches. So basically I did 203 plus 106, but that doesn't count that way. So I took them out and re-put them back in, and there I am. And this here is going to be my finish. Oh, maybe that's where these needles. No, I didn't work on this today, but there's no needles in this project. So this is going to be my finish for a finish, stitch to a finish in September, for sampler September. This is what I started for World Cross Stitch Day. I have never done a Luca-esque project before, and this one's just called Santa Claus. It's interesting though. Yeah, Santa Claus. And this is so noisy. Let me pause. This is this is on all the called for. I think this is made with Anchor on an 18 count swagger pre-grid. And here, I don't know, I started it for World Cross Stitch Day. I was talking to Pam and some other folks, and I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to start. And then at 11 something o'clock at night, I decided to start Santa Claus by Luca S. I did 54 stitches, and honestly, I done more than that, and then I had to rip it out because of I forgot that my 10th stitch was on the grid and not before the grid. So I got most of those stitches confused and had to rip them all out and restart them. But there it is. And eventually, I'll get back to it. I actually really think this kit, I've never had a kit from Luca S, but this was super nice. I was kind of like, I wasn't really that shocked because most people really like them, but I was kind of just like, I love how they have them all in these little, like, even though they're kinky too. But I like how it's just all in one little package. It's super noisy though. So that'll be what it looks like in 25 years. Or never. We'll see. Okay, let's do another one. So that was on 18 count, 2 threads, or using 2 threads of Anchor over 1 Aida square on the pre-grid from Luca S, which is really exciting. Bag made by, oh, nah, we're gonna do the bag made by me last because I really love that project. So here is the StitchCon #1, the Parrot La Dee Da. I got this at StitchCon with Jamie and Teresa. I think she's the _patriotic_stitcher on Instagram. And then Pam wasn't there, but she hopped on the sow here with us. So we're stitching this for our StitchCon start. This is on a Little Sassy by Be Stitch Me on 40 count. I'm going to use this other side here for telling emblems. I have the Scissor Sampler 1 started on a 32 count. It's called Exceptional by Fortnite Fabrics, and I'm just going to put it on this because I don't like stitching with 2 threads. But here it is. And I've fallen woefully behind because I said, oh, I'm going to do one alphabet a week. Well, you failed us, homie. And StitchCon's thing came out this week. So that's super exciting. I have to see if I can even make it. Because we are going to Alaska. And we also want to go to... we also want to go to either Italy or Portugal in August of next year. So I got to see if it is in the budget, because they did increase the prices. I know that, you know, they got to figure everything out and blah, 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 but they did raise it again. And it's now $310 for the 4 days. And you got to get a hotel because I don't live near And so I'll just see if it's in the budget. I mean, I'm going to like put my name on, and you know, you get until like April 1st to cancel. If it doesn't work out for you, just email them and then they'll refund your money or whatever. But I'm hoping I can make it work out. But again, it's just, we got to figure out. I know how much Alaska's costing us because I just booked it. Or I registered, like, pre-booked it or whatever. So we're just waiting on finalization. And then the next one will be whatever we're going to do in August. So if we go overseas, that's automatically 10 right there. So that one received. So it'll just depend if I can make it work, if it's feasible. $343. This here's the plantation sampler. I did 438 stitches on this one. Wow, this one looks actually really good right here. I finished my diagonal. Actually, I was starting to work here. I did some more up there. Then I came down here and did some more threads because I skipped it the week before. The temperature stitching before, so I did two or three threads there. Did this, finished my name, finished whatever was on this diagonal, and there I go. So I'm really excited. It's really just darling. And I thought about, well, we'll talk about that later, because I started something that I thought I could cut off, like slough off half of that and it would work, and it won't, darn it. And then I'm going to pause and do some reviewing here. So this is the fabric that, whatchamacallit's on, Vintage 18. I got this from a lot off of eBay during the pandemic. Because I don't do Hobby Lobby. And then the last one, this one was a start. Okay, we're in the starts. I've had a few starts, and this one here was a complete failure. So I bought this. Kiza Turnock, 1824 from Sassafras Samplers. I thought this was available online in a digital copy, and it wasn't, so I bought it from 123 Stitch, because I bought from this company before, and it took a month to ship something out. So anyways, so I went to 123 Stitch and bought it because I was like, oh, I really want to do this. I got a fabric from Be Stitch Me that I thought was super cute for it, and it is not working out. So I started it on Vintage linen 46 count. Mind you, what I didn't tell you is this whole border here and down and down and down. So right there, those flowers, they're all over one. And they said to do them in tent stitch. This looks like full cross though, but they said tent stitch. Huh. Anyways, so I thought, oh, I will do it on 46 count over one tent stitch. Ma'am, who in the devil am I? Oh my gosh, who in the devil? So I loaded up 3 needles and started it. First of all, you can't even see the cream. Like, I've done it outside and you just can't even see it. And like the flowers that are below here have the cream in it, and you just can't see the cream. So like that would be a lot of stitching to not be able to see any of it. So that one's a fail. I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna cut the threads, take my needles back, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may try to painstakingly rip it out because I really love the fabric. It just wasn't a match for that. Now this pattern does provide a 2/2. I thought it was like right here. Yeah. So they do a 2/2 or like a over 2 border, and I don't know. It's kind of fat. I don't know. It's okay. But I really want to do it 1/1, so, which I didn't know that it was 1/1 until I got it. So that's just so interesting. It's so cool though. And like the rest of it's 2/2. It's just so neat. Huh. I would say that on the sampler though, that those stitches are 1/1 full cross, not a half. Yeah, they look full crossed. Just because how they look so neat and like you can see like how they're formed. Oh well, I just love this middle scene. And I thought about maybe just doing the middle scene and being done. But then I like these dragons and I like the birds and I like the... Anyways, failure, failure, failure. I failed so hard I didn't even know what was going on. So I did do a lot of stitches on it. I mean, even though it was 1/1, I did a lot. So I did 184 stitches. My next start is I did Baldequin Birdies from MFE, so Modern Folk Embroidery. I am doing it on Liberty by Moonshine Stitchery. Funny story about that is I never purchased from her. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Let's talk real quick. So I made this bag out of, it's a bag made by me. And I primarily watch YouTube, like it's playing on in the background at work. And like if something comes on and they're showing something that, anyways, I've watched her maybe a good long year. And she always talked about fabrics she dyed, but I didn't, somehow I lost, I've gone on, okay, I've put in her, because I put in her thing into Google and it brings up a nail polish thing. And it's like, well, Google's putting me into the wrong thing. Like, why would this Moonshine Stitchery be a nail polish company? Anyway, I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I was listening to some lady that was like, yeah, I ordered this from Moonshine and don't be thrown off if she has nail polish. You go to her covered page. She makes custom nail polish or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could have bought this a long time ago if I only knew that it was her. And it wasn't like, I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, so I'm starting Baldequin Birdies by MFE, Modern Folk Embroidery, on Liberty 40 count. I'm doing it 1/2 linen threads on 40 count. And I am using, my friend Pammy started Otter Creek Floss. And I am going to do it in her Mulberry Tart colorway. I bought most of her colors. And I have a whole bag of them. And I was going to show them to you, some of them, and I forgot. I don't know where I put them. Like I cleaned up my stitchy spot for vacation, and now I can't find anything. Anyways, I'm doing it. It is so pretty. It's like a purple to like a brown tan, maybe. You could have seen it when it was in the skein, like when it was all twisted up. Like you could see that it was variegated. Yeah, you can see that it's variegated there. It is so pretty. I don't get like maximum variegation on my stitching because I will stitch across and then stitch back. So like you can see some variegation like up, especially in like this right here and like right here, you can see it where it's kind of like a darker, lighter color. But if I did it one stitch at a time, you'd get more. You'd max out your variegation, variegation. Because the two colors are so similar, when you do it the way I'm doing it, you barely get any. But anyways, I love it. And I worked on this in London. I love this. I have done 609 stitches. You better watch out now, fools. I love that. Okay, so that's fun. And I got to figure out some kind of schedule on some of this crap. All right, I'm going to pull this up because I do not have so I bought, it's funny, I was watching Phoebe today and she was talking about this, and I actually purchased this a few weeks ago and bought it. It is called Moon Deer by Al Forrest. I did not buy the Al Forrest threads because they are so, the ship, I know we have an embargo, I think is what it's called, or whatever, we're, because of the war that's still not over, which is also a hot mess. Their shipping was $32 for just like 4 of these. 5, 6, 8, I don't remember what it is, but here it is. So I'm doing this one also on Moonshine Stitchery Rhapsody, 46 count. It does say Moonshine. Oh, so this one says moonshinemanny.com, and that's where it kept taking me. But this one here says Moonshine Manny as well. This one says moonshinestitchery.com. Well, that Manny one was the one that Google kept sending me to. It's like, I don't know, don't ask. Okay, so here's this. So I wanted to talk about this really quickly. Give me 1 second here. Just look at how pretty it is. So, okay. So I went and I have 100 Owls kit, and I also have the Wizard of Oz kit. The Wizard of Oz kit has violet in it, which is required here, and then also bogwood, or one of, I think it's bogwood. If not, it's forest shadow. But anyways, and I just opened up the thing and kind of took my DMC like envelope thing and like took it up against the computer screen to see like what colors were actually in the threads. So I will, show you what I'm doing. Okay, so bogwood is this here, the corner, like this piece here, all of the brown tan. So I am using, and it said use 640. So I got out the bogwood I had and put it against the 2 like DMCs, and then I put it into the thread converter and 1, 2, 3 stitch, and each DMC came up with two different colors. They came up with flatfish and driftwood. So here's the 2 colors. I decided to go flatfish, so I'm going to go with, which is what I lost both needles on the front of that. Anyway, so that's what I decided to do here, flatfish. And then I thought maybe I'll do like these little center, and then I stitched it. do the center like flower, because this piece here just replicates over here. I thought, oh, I'll do the center flower and this. And then I kind of forgot and just did that last night. So that's not happening. So I'm just going to use this for bogwood, which is flatfish. But again, the 2 DMC colors that best correlated was these 2 here. And I put them into whatchamacallit. And I thought, oh, I might mix them in together. So I'm going to keep it in the bag just in case. The next one, sorry, violet. I did the 2 for them, and it came up like, they said they recommended 33, and then like there was also this really like bright royal purple, and there was a 3rd color in it. So the one came up, said no like immediate on any of them, like even with classic or gas. So these are the 2 that they recommended on 33 and whatever that other one was. So this is the bright purple that was in it, and then this one's more like 33. So I'm going to use them. So it is that CYCLAMEN, and this one's Purple Majesty. There you go, Purple Majesty. So that's for the violet. That's to replace the violet. And I'm planning on using potentially both of these, depending on, I mean, I'm going to really stitch with, I really like this one here. for the overall. I'll show you the like lineup of the 3. I like this one, but I also kind of like how punchy like this red is. So I might make like the mature flowers. Like, okay, so I might do like those mature, maybe some of those more mature flowers and the brighter. Well, no, because the ones that are dying would be darker. Maybe the buds will be the hot purple, like this Majesty purple. And like the fully bloomed ones will be more like this. I don't know. I'm going to play around with it. So right there. And then the gold is called Bronze Shandabrum. And I'm going to use whiskey. So I put in 2382 and it came up something. But then I got a kit for, I got a blowout. I got a, like I went on to Wonder Through Stitch and I said add to cart for lit. And it came back with whiskey. And I said, oh, that's a really pretty color. So I'm going to use whiskey. So I'm going to use whiskey for 3828 Bronze Shandabrum. And then Forest Shadow, which are like which are weird. Well, I guess there are like green hummingbirds. But anyways. So there's so there is the forest right there, the hummingbirds and the leaves. So I'm going to use Bullfrog. Now I put in what I thought was the 2 colors. There was another color, well, I think it was called, I don't know, like spinach maybe, or something like that. And I just didn't really love the look of that one. So I just decided to go with Bullfrog. And if I look, I have the other green. I don't know where it went. It's not in any of those. I had the other green. I probably just threw it in my stash. But it was like a really like, almost like a pea green and like a even a lighter pea green. So I just went with Bullfrog, which was the darker green color of whatever I found for the DMC. So that is how I did that. So here are my color conversion for the moon deer. So there we go. It's gonna be super cute. And then I might throw. The problem is once you start throwing kind of in the lighter colors, they get a little too. Whoopsie. Weeks really needs to get a better system here. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Okay, so once you add in the 2 brighter colors, then your palette kind of gets a little too wowed a little bit. So I'm going to use not that one and not that one. So I'm going to do this. This is my palette for Moon Deer. So I am using, again, Bullfrog, Flatfish, Whiskey, and Cyclamen, which I'm assuming must be a flower. But yeah, so there are the 3. So Cyclamen, Whiskey, Flatfish, and Bullfrog. And next week, or when I come back in a week or 2, you'll be able to see exactly what all of them, because I'm at the corner. So once I get this done, I'm going to go to the corner again, and then I can start. There's a leaf here. There's some yellow that goes inside of here. And then there's a purple bud like right near that leaf. But there was where I got last night. And I got 307 stitches. So that was really exciting. So last showing, I was trying to finish Mary Amelia Birds, and I actually finished it. I finished it on the 9th of August. So there it is. This is all in the DMC called for. So I did do the bird in 2. Oh my gosh, I did the bird in 2 threads. Oh, you know what? That's where all those needles came from. It came from here. I did the bird in 2 threads and the foliage in 1 thread over 2 linen threads on, or 2 Lugana threads on 32 count vintage country mocha. And there it is. I think it's just so pretty. I even like the delicacy. Like, you couldn't really tell that the background is 2, but it's definitely more delicate than the bird because the bird is so punchy. And it's so cute. Amelia Birds by Rose Quaint Needle Arts. I had I didn't really have a surprise finish, but I have another finish. And if you noticed, I didn't talk about Sarah Barker, 1840 by Needlework Press. I finished her. I finished her last night, actually. And I did just a little under 6,000 stitches to complete her. Like 2 or 3 stitches less than 6,000. And now this is just temporarily. This is the frame I bought for this. Now don't pay any attention because it's not in the frame. But here she is. And this is the frame I'm putting her in. Obviously I just threw her in here so she's not even like done. But I bought this frame. It was a custom cut from Joann's. And they sold it to me for $5 because it's supposed to be a 13 by 13 and it was a 13 by 12 and 7/8. And I think also because there's 2 or 3 chips in the top there, but there it is. And look at that 1/4. I did basically 1 thread over 1/4 Aida square. So I basically did the equivalent of 1/1 on Aida. And I was shocked that you can actually read what it says. This is on 18 count. If you do this pattern on 18 count and you do it with the, well, I guess even with the other stuff, because the overdyes have less thread, but with the dinky dyes, you definitely need, and I can't tell if when I first started this, I was as much of as a thread conservator that I am now, but I ran out of this dark green, and I only ran out right here because this other half of this is supposed to be dark green, and I didn't have it, so I just stitched it all in the light green. But other than that, everything else, and I have plenty of threads. I mean, this is what I have left. Those 2 aquas, blues there are not for this pattern, but yeah, I have a bunch of thread left. Just that one took up too much. So even if you're doing like the overdyed, you probably should buy a couple of that one because the dinky dye is 8 meters. So if you're doing it on less than an 18 count over 1, you'll definitely need more on most of them. But here it is. It's on 18 count, fiber on a whim, cream and sugar. I was gonna say, I'm gonna get it right this time. Because it's not honey, it's not milk and honey. It's cream and sugar on an 18 count Aida. And again, I did this basically 1/1/4 Aida square. And I'm shocked that you can read it. Like, yeah, you can read it in real life. I mean, you can read it on the camera, but you can read it in real life. Like, you can distinctly read all of it. It's kind of crazy. And it looks so pretty. So there it is. I finished it. Now I gotta lace it up. I think this it's still, I think is going to be just a hair too small. I think it's going to cover up some of these, like, there's 2 or 3 leaves at the very bottom here. And I think it's going to cover up a little bit of those, but I think it'll be fine. But again, I don't know how I measured so poorly either. Oh, and there's a huge scratch there. So maybe that's another reason why they gave it to me for $5. Either way, I love it. I think it's so pretty, and I'm really excited to get it latched up so that we can get it moving on. I did buy a few things. I bought fabric, again, from Moonshine Stitchery. These are the 2 pieces that I didn't use. This is called Angel on a 40 count. And the website is actually moonshinemanny.com. So super pretty. This was actually there were those 2 crows. Oh my gosh. I was hoping that, because I think she lives in Canada, and I was hoping she'd release them before the tariffs. I mean, it's digital. She has digital patterns, so I don't think it'll be a problem. But I was hoping she'd release them, darn it, because I really want to do them. So I'm going to put those 2 crows, I think they're called the Graveyard Wanderer, on that. And then I also bought this. This is called Gourd, 40 count. I was going to use this because it's got like splashes of orange and like brown. I was going to use that for my Away We Ride, but I got the purple in and I wanted to start it. Terrible. I found this. I was just on eBay. Christina Cathcart, 1831. Oh, I just think this is so darling. I just love this, and I might start it. I have no room to start anything. So I want to talk about plans, and then I'm going to talk about, I got some more purchases, but they're related to Paris, but I'll put those at the very beginning so that I can show you those. And then if you're not interested in hearing about my Paris and my adventures abroad, then you can move on. So plans, I have a few plans here. Okay, I'm going to work on Ann Thomas till a finish, hopefully a finish in September. That'll be really exciting. And then my friend Lisa is starting Santa in the Forest by, I can't remember the brand. It says Marilyn Levitt, but it's Lavender and Lace. Forest, Santa of the Forest. So there it is. I have this started. And I was like, I really need, because she's like, I was like, oh, I'll just pull it out and work on it with you when you want to start yours. Well, then I was like, I really need to make sure that this fabric is not a hot mess, which it is. Shocker. So I told you in my thing that mine, look, the picture of the bear looks super fat and mine like wide, and mine's like, looks like he's been starving for his whole life. Like he's not eating salmon, okay? He's so tiny. He's so like skinny, right? So I counted out my stitches just to see where I would end up at the top and blah, blah, blah. And then I started going down the pattern. Now this is an MCG Textile Lugana 28 count. So best example is, look how small. Those are over 3 thread. Those are over basically 20 threads to make 10 stitches. And then that's over 10 stitches, or 20 threads to make the 10 stitches. There's a massive difference by 1/4 of an inch. So wide, this thread here, right there, was 5/8 of an inch. This thread here is 7/8 of an inch. So basically for every 10, there lengthwise is an extra 1/4 of an inch. And obviously, when you're doing something like that, it doesn't work out. And that's why my bear is wider, longer than he is wider, because he's wrong. So I'm going to restart him. I haven't figured out a thread. Oh my God. Well, I haven't figured out a floss. I already got the floss. I haven't figured out, because I think it's going to, I'm already at 30. And I was just measuring 30, like 10, 20, 30. I was at 40 and I need to go down to 250, and I measured it and I am literally like right on the line here. So like, obviously it's not working out. So anyway, so I am going to restart. I was talking to Lisa today, and I was like, oh, she had sent it. And I was thinking, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll start on 40. I think I have a wren, or maybe like some kind of tannish color and a picture of this plus, and I might do it on a 40. And then she's like, I'm thinking about doing it on a 40. And I said, oh, I was just literally thinking that. So that'll be one of my restarts. She said she was going to start on Sunday, I believe. So hopefully I will have my life together enough and have my fabric picked up that I can restart with her on Sunday as well. My friend Pam and my friend Jamie are doing this one here. This is the Lost French Red Escargot Perdue. And this is Run with Needle and Scissors. I have this on a PDF. That's why it's in black and white, because I only have it as a black and white computer. I bought this on PDF through them. And this is what it'll look like. Oh, there's my baby. Oh, no. There's aren't my babies. Where's my babies? Oh, they're like this. That's why they're like that there. Oh, look at my little babies. I love them. Oh, so it's 66 degrees and raining. Okay, here it is. So I bought it PDF. That's why I have that black and white printout. And then the one person that did it actually has LD as their initials, and that's my initials. But this one also says JP, but she doesn't give you... Hold on. Sorry. Oh, I looked in it as if it was the pattern. But she got lost for 4 months. Wow, hence the name. It says JP there, but she also doesn't give you a an alphabet to change your initials. And those letterings aren't in... Those letterings aren't in the things. Anyway, so I'm doing it on a... This is a wild fabric. This one is Days Gone by hand dyed by Jim, Newcastle 40. I'm doing it on one of these sides. I don't remember. Probably the one without the sticker, I suspect, is why I put the sticker on the side. But anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm doing it on this, and I'm using my friend, my Otter Creek floss. I'm using her floss here, and I am doing 2 different colors. So in person, these look exactly the same. I mean, not in person, in camera. These look almost identical. This, oh my gosh, they're both now a mess. The Spring Meadow, there you go, you can tell now. This one's the lighter of the 2. They're very similar, but I am doing all of the shamrocky. I'm doing the outside border, the shamrocks, in this color, and all the rest of it in this color. She does give you 10 yards, so she's very, like, generous with that. Okay, I don't know where it went, because I could have swore I was writing on this piece of paper this morning. Oh, I wanted to talk about the DMC containers. Someone asked me about them. I purchased them on Amazon. They hit, they can hold 64, one unit can hold 64 DMCs. I also had a question on Instagram to ask me about how they, if they fit the DMC comfortably. Yes, they do. And if I was more of a, like, tidier person, you could actually fit 2 colors in one. I didn't do that. I did just 1 box for 1 color. You need 8 of them. You have, let's see. You have 15 left over that I don't have anything in them. I have put in some, like, Coloris or Variegation or DMC, like, Krynic stuff down the bottom. And I got these labels from Etsy, and I would not recommend them. I'm doing Great British Bake Off, stitching, and I have put the names of the characters on a sheet. There's 12 candidates. I have them all written down. I'm going to find projects to put on all 12 of them. Probably not my 25 and 25, I don't think. I think I'm going to do any start that I started in 25, maybe. I don't know. And how I'm doing it is, in each episode, Hollywood Handshake gets 500. The loser of the pre-bake gets 25 per contestant left. So if there's, say there's 10 contestants left, they'll get 250 stitches. The winner of the pre-bake gets 50 stitches per contestant. So if there's 10 left, they'll get 500 stitches. And then 600 for the beginning. And then the other one will be 300. Yeah, is that right? Yes, it's 300. And then whoever wins the Bake Off Challenge gets 500 stitches, and whoever gets sent home gets 500 stitches. And I don't think they're gonna, I Googled it to see if they were gonna do anything new, like any different type of game, or anything like that, but it said it's just gonna be the standard season. So there's 12 contestants. It airs in London or England or the UK or wherever. It's gonna go on the 2nd, and then it'll be on, oh my gosh, why am I so tired? It's going to be on Netflix on September 5th. So I will start it on September 5th. Again, I have the names. I don't even know where it is. But if I find it or I write it out before I get this edited, I'll snap a picture, put it on the screen, and show you exactly what it's going to do. And if you are uninterested in my London and Paris talk, I'm going to show you some things that I purchased that are cross-stitch related from Paris, and then I'll get into my travels, and then we'll get off of here. So let's get into what I purchased. I went to this cross-stitch store. These passages were so darling. Oh my gosh, it's like an alley in between the houses, and it has rows and rows and rows and rows and alleys of shops on both sides. They were so cute. People were painting. Oh, it was so amazing. So first I bought one particular to her shop, and here it is. And oh my gosh, it was so cute. It was trimmed out in like this red matting and a black. Those white things are all French knots, and all those balls right there are not stitched. They're real balls. They're like real Christmas balls. So they're so darling. So, I don't know what I'm going to do about the French dots. I know that Zwagart makes that white dotted fabric, but I don't know if I want to make that this big. I may want to make it smaller. I definitely know that I'm not using the Aida that it comes with. I haven't even opened it up to see what exactly the story is with it, because it kind of looks like it might be 16 count. It says 7 point, so I don't know what that means. It says Aida 7 point. And that's across the languages. Well, I was going to say, oh, let me do the QR code. Oh, that's an Instagram QR code. I can see that now. But anyway, so I bought this. Super excited about getting this started. It is so darling. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. It was 48 pounds, 48 euros. So 1 times a quarter, so a quarter of 50 bucks is 12 and a half, so $60. It was expensive for an American. And then this I way overpaid for. I found this pattern alone on eBay for 25 bucks. I paid 91 euros for it, so that plus 22 bucks, so 112. Comes with DMC, but I was high on yarn fumes. I mean, like, come on. Can you, like, just give it to me? I was high on the yarn or thread fumes and cross-stitch fumes, and, like, all of the models were so darling. Comes with the fabric. It's a Winchell. I don't know. It looks like it might be a 40 count, maybe less. I don't know, but you use 1 thread. I did read that. 1 thread over 2 linen threads on this pattern. Comes with the DMC carded, and then the thread fabric. That's what it's going to look like. And I was again high. I was high on the cross stitch threads, models. The lady kicked me out too. She's like, it's 2:30. I gotta go, or it's 2. I gotta go to lunch. I'm closing down. You need to leave, and kicked me out. So she was serious about getting her break. And she's like, you can come back at 2:30, but you gotta go. So I left. So this is all I bought, and I bought one other thing. I don't know where it is. From that same store. I would recommend if you're going to Paris, check it out. It's so cute. And they had like little scissor cases, needle cases, bookmarks. They had all kinds of like her patterns in particular, like all kinds of things. Like she had this whole series of birds that I just wanted, but they were $68 a piece, and there was like 12 of them. And I just couldn't do one. So I'm going to start that eventually at some point. And that's all. That is all for the cross-stitching content. So floss the cross, toss the floss. It is so... Toss the floss and let stitch... I feel like I'm an amateur today. Toss the floss and let stitch happen. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Toss that floss and let stitch happens, and I'll see you in a few weeks. Bye now.